Cancer, hello, Amanda here. Welcome to Unseen Hands Healing. This is going to be your small story reading here in December. So as opposed to the big monthly shift readings that look at the overall energy for your month, this is hopefully intending to get a more specific glimpse into what might be going on for some of you at this time. Please take what resonates and leave it. If it doesn't resonate, then it's not your reading. Okay? So for these small stories, I choose a book off the shelf that seems to be speaking to you or wanting to speak. And then I open to a passage at random and I read it to you. And then we'll pull cards to illuminate the story even further. So for this reading for you today, Cancer, we got to begin. The Relationships book. Okay, some of you may be familiar with this book. For those of you who are not, it essentially breaks down all of the zodiac signs by week of birth and names them a number, like Leo 1, Leo 2, Leo 3, based on the week that they were born in. Okay, and so then they, because it's about relationships, they match up certain people, certain signs born at certain weeks, and you kind of read about maybe what the energy of your relationship will be. I take this book with a very heavy grain of salt. I just want to put that out there and encourage you to do the same. But here's the passage that wants to come through. I'm just going to show it to you here before reading it. It's this one up here. Experiencing rebirth. The secret language of relationships. So this is for Leo 2s, which were our Leos that were born the week of August 3rd through 10th. They entitle this the week of balanced strength. And in relationship with Scorpio 1s who were born the week of October 26th through November 2nd, the week of intensity. So we've got balanced strength and intensity. We've got two characters showing up here already, possibly a Leo and a Scorpio. So perhaps you've got one of those strongly in your chart and you can fit yourself into a category here. The strengths of this relationship: aspiring, nurturing, innovative. The weaknesses: stubborn, over-serious, combative. Best: marriage. Worst: sibling. Okay. Again, I think this book really oversimplifies. That is my personal opinion. Let's read what they have to say for you here. Cancer. So this is entitled Experiencing Rebirth, and here's what it says. This combination is protective and nurturing, but also generative. Does that not sound like Cancer energy? Yes. Creative forces are strong here. So strong, in fact, that together these partners may experience a sort of rebirth. Their relationship gives them a chance to move to a higher personal and spiritual level. Their respective fortes, balanced strength and intensity, are well matched, complementing each other in career, educational, and social undertakings that allow Leo 2 equanimity and Scorpio 1 drive to coalesce. Both Leo and Scorpio are fixed signs, so that neither of these personalities is likely to give ground in an all-out argument. By working side by side in a variety of endeavors, however, they can win each other's trust. In love, these two are seldom content to sit back and simply enjoy life's pleasures, sexual or otherwise. They have a drive to move forward. This will often move them in the direction of marriage. Having children and owning their own home can also be important parts of this scenario. They should be aware, however, that progressing in this way need not make them steadily more serious and inflexible, losing the spontaneity and fun that characterize that relationship in its beginnings. I think that's super important for this message. I just have a hunch. Friendships and sibling relationships between Leo 2s and Scorpio 1s can be intense and competitive, especially on the physical plane. Whether rivaling each other as opponents or trying to beat their personal mutual best, these two will sometimes compete unmercifully for victory. They should be careful not to hurt themselves by going too far in this direction. In professional relationships, Leo 2s and Scorpio 1s are happiest when able to bring new ideas into the workplace. As an equal team, they are capable of working hard, but only when they choose. Motivation is an important consideration here, for they will give generously of their talents and energies if they believe in the products and goals of the organization they serve. Advice? Keep young at heart. Don't take on more responsibility than you can handle. Stay flexible and open in your outlook. Leave time for play. Okay, beautiful. So maybe some of you have a Leo or a Scorpio in your life that was born that week. Maybe this is a message for you. Let's see. Put that big giant book down. All right, let's get, okay, so before I pull from the Wildwood, I also have the fairy deck out here, Brian Froud's Fairies, and as I was pre-shuffling for you, Cancer, look at the perfect card that came out to speak to this experiencing rebirth energy. It's Ilby the Retriever. Look at sweet Ilby, am I right? So the beautiful thing for me about Ilby here, Ilby the Retriever, and doesn't it look like they're retrieving something that was once theirs, retrieving something, keeping it close to themselves. There's definitely throat chakra energy here with this beautiful blue being, and the fact that they're retrieving something close to their throat, close to their heart expression for sure. But there's a sense of something having been lost and found again. And I think that's really interesting given the title of this relationship being Experiencing Rebirth. Perhaps this is something lost and found again. It'll be the Retriever. Okay. Cancer, what's this going to be about? We're going over to the Wildwood now. Let's get 3 cards to illuminate this small story reading for Cancer here. Experiencing rebirth. Okay, one more. Your card is showing up. One more for Cancer, please. I'm gonna do one more shuffle and then I'm taking Ilby as your 3rd card. Okay. I just get so tickled when I get sassy and then the cards are like, okay. Okay. Wow. What a gorgeous energy here. So you may notice that this deck is a little bit different than traditional tarot. Okay, so don't get too hung up on traditional tarot meanings here. We're going with this deck and this deck's meanings. We have the Moon on the water, generosity, 9 of Vessels, and the Mirror. Okay, the Mirror, Hanged One energy. So this is my favorite card in this deck, by the way. Okay, let's talk it through. The energy that's coming through here for me, for you Cancer already, is that generosity is right at the heart of this. I mean, I'm going to continue on with the reading that launched this whole small story and say that this is a relationship we're talking about. That seems quite obvious to me. A romantic relationship in particular, though it could be a work relationship or a friendship, I suppose. I'm feeling romance vibes. So there's something very deeply generous right at the heart of this relationship, right at the center of this relationship. It's like, and this is also how you recenter in this relationship, or when dealing with this relationship, whether you are a part of this relationship, one of these players, Leo or Scorpio, or whether you are an observer, a bystander of this relationship. The key to recentering is generosity. That's what I'm feeling. The key to recentering is generosity. And you cultivate a spirit of generosity through abundance. Notice this huge receptive energy. This bowl right at the base, right at the center, right over the 2nd chakra, which is absolutely one of the chakras we use to creatively, sexually, intimately interact with other folks, and feels that 2nd chakra energy is even part of the color of this card and feels very connected to that relationship I just read to you, a creative connection usually leading to marriage, okay? Or, committed partnership in some way. Beautiful. Recentering in what brings you satisfaction and what makes you feel emotionally abundant and emotionally secure. Emotional security brings generosity. I think that's something I'm going to say again because I'm being directed to do so. Emotional security brings forth the generosity, and vice versa, I would say. Generosity cultivates a spirit of emotional security. That is something that you need to know because that is central to this relationship at this time we are meeting in this small story energetic connection here. And I say that because flanked on either side of generosity, I'll show you this again. Flanked on either side of generosity are two cards that can sometimes speak to being in the unknown. There is something yet unknown about this relationship. Perhaps it is in the process of being reborn. Perhaps it has not yet been reborn, or you are in the midst of experiencing rebirth. At this time, this moment in time, through my channel, through my work, through the guidance that's coming through for me, I've been getting images of being in the crawl space, being in a cave and entering this very narrow tunnel where you can't see, it's dark, you're underwater, you can't see up from down, left from right. You can't even see you can barely see the light at the end of that tunnel, which is coming through as this full moon. Okay, and is also present here in the mirror, that crystal orb, which is funny too, because I've been talking about that light at the end of the tunnel where you pass through this very narrow passage, claustrophobic, scary maybe passage, the crawl space in this cave, and then suddenly it opens up to this beautiful crystal ballroom. And it was perhaps, hopefully, totally worth pushing through any fears that came up in order to enter and move through that crawl space. The crawl space could also clearly be an analogy to passing through the birth canal. And it's interesting that we've got experiencing rebirth. You see where I'm going with this? So as you're in the crawl space, as you are in the birth canal, perhaps with this relationship, Cancer, and you can't see heads or tails of this, you can't see the way forward, all you can do when you're in the energy of the moon is feel your way forward. The reflection of the moon on the water starts to sort of play tricks on you, and you're really not sure what's up or down, heads or tails. Things are feeling a bit ominous even, perhaps fear is present because the unknown is so palpable. All you can do when you are in this energy is feel your way forward tactily with your body. And I've spoke about this. Now, if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, I encourage you to follow me over on Instagram at Unseen Hands Healing, and also on Patreon, where I've got full posts that are telling all about this idea of being in the crawl space and what that means. And the last post I offered on this quarter moon in Pisces that we just had on Wednesday, felt very much like all you can do when you are in this crawl space, surrounded by what you perceive as perhaps fear, surrounded by that darkness. All you can really do is feel your way forward through presence. By becoming radically, like, whether you want to or not, when you're in a survival mode, a place of survival like that, get into your body and say, okay, let me not let my mind run away with me and play tricks on me. Let's drop into the sensations I'm feeling as I'm crawling through this crawl space. Where am I putting my right hand? Now, where am I putting my left knee? Okay, what is my shoulder brushing up against? I need to duck my head. It is that type of presence that I'm talking about that allows you to to essentially guide yourself through this dark patch, through this place of deep unknown, where all of our very human, understandable fears want to surface. Okay, and then we have the mirror over here, which equates to the Hanged One energy in the tarot, which is an energy of being in suspension. Something here is on its way out. You can see there is a spirit, a person who has passed, lying in wait to be guided down the river Styx, to be guided through their passage in the underworld. It has not yet happened yet. It's like, in order for this relationship to experience rebirth, something has to first die. Something has to first, and I'm speaking metaphorically, something has to first pass away or transmute its state into something else and go away. You know, something has to go, or someone maybe has to go away before this relationship can have a rebirth, before it can be retrieved. Soul retrieval is what I just heard. Soul retrieval. This could be a very deep, profound soul connection, and we can even see that profundity here. It's massive. Like, the weight of this card feels huge to me. Okay, so I think this is a pretty big soul connection going on, and right now something is perhaps in the way of it being completely retrieved and brought close to you again, Cancer. So in the meantime, I think you sense that it's coming. You sense that it's there. You've perhaps seen the crystal visions, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, the crystal ballroom is on the other side of this crawl space, this beautiful open cavern that is gorgeous and glinting with light, because you've seen it. You've foreseen it. You're a deeply intuitive sign. You know what I'm talking about. You feel it in your bones. You feel it in your bones. This is your card in the tarot. But perhaps you're not quite seeing it yet. You can see this person's eyes are closed, and there's a sense of waiting for this to pass through, waiting for something. And even the heron is looking deeply into the waters, almost scrying. There's so much scrying here with the mirror and the crystal ball and the reflection in the water. And by scrying, I mean gazing at a reflection through a mirror, through some sort of mirrored reflective surface like water, in order to see visions, in order to see yourself, perhaps, because this is entitled The Mirror, in a different way. I think in the meantime, as you're waiting for something to pass away, pass through, to clear, so that the light can come through, as you're making your way through this birth canal here, it's about becoming radically present where you are with your own body, so that you can better see yourself through your experience of this process of being in the birth canal, the rebirth canal. So soft and special with this Ilby the Retriever. Truly, Cancer. Lovely. Okay, so I'm going to continue to pull cards and take this reading into an extended reading. If this sounds like your story and it is resonating with you, stick around. There will be a little preview of that extended reading here at the end that you can see if it's still resonating with you. If it is, click the link in the description box below. It'll take you over to Vimeo, where you can view this reading instantly. Okay, so if this is your reading and you know I'm talking to you, I'll see you over on Vimeo, where we will pull more cards, pull clarifying cards, and really start to dig deeper into what this reading and relationship is really all about. What's preventing this rebirth? What is this rebirth? Get clarity on the retrieval. It'll be the Retriever. We'll get more fairy guidance. We'll see what's up, okay? So, Cancer, thank you so much for watching. Maybe I'll see you on Vimeo, maybe not. Regardless, happy December, happy holidays. If you haven't checked in with your December shift reading, now would be a great time to do that. All right, I'll hopefully remember to link to that for you. And we'll talk to you soon. Take care, Cancer. See this here, you, Cancer, obviously, this mermaid holding this crystal ball in which to see the future. And here's you. This is you when you are standing in your truth and your generosity and your trust in this connection and trust in the unseen. Here's you over here when this starts to get really tiresome, when it starts to feel really, really hard to continue to hold this up. And like, yes, of course. Why? Yes, it would. It would, Cancer. So trust me, that's not a judgment. That's like a yeah. Sitting here and holding this up for a really long time, you're going to start to hurt. It's going to start to feel uncomfortable. And that's when it can start to get heavy, 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 heavy. And then it's almost like I'm seeing you morph into gloom doom here. And you get into this place of, this is never going to happen. I'm going to wait forever. This doesn't mean what I think it means. This is never going to go anywhere. What is this? I can't actually see the future. I know I've seen the future, but maybe I was wrong. And there's no hope. There's no hope. There's no hope. And I'm just seeing all of these critters here of just like, whoa, it's me. Okay. Don't allow yourself to slip into that kind of heaviness. Aha, yeah. To go back to this reading, advice, keep young at heart, Cancer. Keep young at heart. Don't take on more responsibility. Okay, here we go, full circle. More responsibility than you can handle. Stay flexible and open in your outlook. Leave room for play. Don't get bogged down. Try to stay light. Try to stay light.